This episode of the Jaguar Football Podcast is brought to you by Lorenzo's Tacos and Burritos, located at 1841 Old State Route 21, addicted to tacos. Hi, everyone. I'm Carl Bierock. Welcome to week 4 of our podcast. And with us, as always, is the head coach of Seckman Football, Dr. Nicholas Bear. Coach Bear, great week of Seckman Football. The program went 3-0.
Yeah, all three levels right now are undefeated. Last night we had the freshman and JV took on Northwest, and, two great games. The freshman and JV's first opportunity to play at home this year. Huge crowd. Great to see everybody out there on a Monday night. And it's games where we got an opportunity to get everybody in, and everybody got in, everybody's playing. And that's what I love about Monday nights. No matter who we put in, our number one guy, or what some people might consider to be our 62nd guy on the JV team, they go in and they're flying around out there. They're making plays, and when everybody gets their opportunity, they want to eat and show out, and it's fun to watch those guys get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Certainly the boys played hard, and it seems like you and your coaches had the perfect game plan. The varsity game perhaps started a little slow for your liking, but turned it on when they had to.
Yeah, ending that first quarter 2-0 with Northwest, they're a much improved team. If you look back the last 4 years, I would say this is the best. The best Northwest team that we played in the past 4 years, as far as being coached up, having a very solid game plan for what we wanted to do. And, that led us stumbling out of the gates. And it's kind of one of those things. I talked to the offense today, and I'm sure, a lot of people out there, and might think, pretty easy to score 40 points. And, it's not. I know we've had made a good habit of it lately, and it's something that people come to expect, but these things don't just happen. And when you look at the first quarter, we had 3 drives all stall out. On the first drive, we end up we get a legal motion penalty to start, so now we're sitting in 1st and 15. Well, that's not really on schedule where we want to be. And then the second drive, we get the ball midfield, we stumble around a little bit. We throw our first interception of the season. I think it's our first interception in 2 seasons. We didn't throw in last year, which is okay. I mean, those things happen. It's a great learning experience, and we can help the sophomore quarterback learn from it and learn from those mistakes. So it's really a good experience there. And then you saw us fumble, inside the 10-yard line, which that one had me scratching my head a little bit. That's just not something that we've done, in the past 4 or 5 years. When we get it down there, we know what's coming. Everybody within a country mile knows what's coming, and we're usually able to put it in. So. That we kind of stumbled out of the gates, but it was good to see those guys kind of not lose their head and get it going in the second quarter. And, really that's credit to the defense. They came out right away on that first drive, right after Northwest had an onside kick. They were trying to gain momentum. A great job on their part. Caught us a little off guard, and, defense comes out, stuffs them. And, every time the offense stumbled, the defense came out and stuffed them. So it's kind of one of those nights where I knew we would get going. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah, well, let's kind of rewind and take a step back. So, for those that have never been to Northwest in their facility, their playing field is in a bowl, for lack of better explanation. The school is up on top of a hill, and you walk down a path to get to the stadium. So you had to do that twice, right? So I was just wondering, you heard the crowd, you saw the crowd as well. Just walk me through, what's it like walking down that path, and what's going through on your mind as you're walking into the stadium?
Yeah, Northwest has a really nice facility. As far as being a sunken football field, with a really nice concession stand and standing area, along with a nice set of bleachers. Would be nice if they had an away set of bleachers for our folks, but it is what it is. But yeah, you're walking down that path, and it's really cool. I have to remind myself a lot, to look around and really enjoy the moment and the atmosphere. And, sometimes I got to remind the boys of that as well. I'll be honest, I did not do a great job of that on Friday. I had my head down thinking about, okay, here's what we need to do. We need to do this. And that's kind of one of those things where we kind of, as coaches and as players, got to remind ourselves to stay in the moment, because those are really cool things. And, Northwest puts on a good show, and they had a good crowd, and, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I would agree with you there about like, having an away state, stands and home stands.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone was nice. There were no problems or anything like that. But
Right.
uh, wanted to also ask you about, you had to make that long trip, perhaps longer than in the most recent years, some
Mhm.
construction projects going on at the school.
Yeah, Northwest, they're making a pretty large investment into their athletics and weight room, um, and good for them. When it comes to Jefferson County Class 6 schools, it's us, Fox, and Northwest. So, we always kind of are comparing ourselves to them. Obviously, our product on the field right now is a little better, but seeing those guys want to make improvements to their facilities and make things nice for their players, that's something that, I'm trying to do constantly around here, with the weight room we currently have, making the best of it. Our locker room this off season, those are things that matter. So, Northwest, a community that's really investing in those sorts of things. And, hopefully down the road, you know, 15, 20, 25 years from now, maybe we'll get something like that for our boys in our community. I really think we have a great opportunity, a great space to do it. And, you know, those are things that people that make much more money than me make decisions on, but it would be great to see that investment for us.
No, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt you would have the supporting of the community. They want this team to succeed, and so yeah, I imagine that would be coming sooner, hopefully rather than later. Just also about the Northwest game, the running game really took off, and you mentioned that you had a chance to put in some players that maybe wouldn't have otherwise had a chance to get some reps at
Mhm.
running back, and just how do you thought they played, and for a moment coming up on varsity for some, wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that goes back to what we talked about the first 2 weeks. Teams can kind of come out and match us to start, and then we just kind of wear them down as we go. Once it hit the second quarter, it was power sweep, and we kind of had the momentum. And when we get up in a game like that, it's a great opportunity to get guys, opportunities on Friday nights, get young guys some carries. You saw Chance Rubel out there, you see Quinn Mattingly. Um, you know, get these guys reps. Everybody really different positions all the way across offense and defense. We have a lot of guys some playing time, and that playing time, that maturity matters. As we move into the next season and the next season, these guys know what to expect when they get out on the field. So it's always good to get that opportunity.
Now, on the other side of the ball, the defense once again put together a stellar performance,
Mhm.
and just wanted to get your thoughts about that. I read in your email you said that they're on pace with last year's record-setting defense.
Yeah, I mean the defense was suffocating um, on Friday night. I think the first group didn't even allow a first down. Um, it's kind of one of those things that starts up front with great D line play. Our guys play with low pad level, wreaking havoc. We got linebackers making their reads. Northwest completed a couple footballs that that's what they do, and they're well coached at it, and they did a good job of finding a few of the holes in our scheme. Um, but secondary rallied, got to the football, made great tackles. It's kind of one of those things. It was physical out there, and defense continues to execute, and that's something we want to continue to build on the rest of the year.
You mentioned on a earlier podcast that you are looking to peak at the end of the season or toward the end of the season, right?
Mhm.
So we're 3 games in. We have Melville coming up on Friday. Where are you happy with the way things are progressing and the way things stand on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. It takes time, and that's something that we're continually reminding the boys of. With a team like Melville coming in 0-3, their struggles are known, and but it doesn't matter. Football's hard. These guys, Melville, they play really hard. They have a lot of very solid athletes, and Seckman needs to focus on Seckman. How can we make sure we come out with a faster start? How can we make sure we're blocking the right guys? Northwest did a great job changing up their fronts all night long. On the defensive side, we know Melville's going to do the same thing, and they fly the football fast. So it's very important for our guys to stay on their assignment, to block, protect the football, and that's when good things happen.
Yeah, and that leads us into the preview for our game coming up on Friday. Now, it seems like Northwest more balanced
Mhm.
They seem to run a little bit, more than I recall in the last few years. Tell us
Right.
about Melville and the type of offense that you see them running currently.
Yeah. Well, historically, Melville's ran a jet style offense where they're trying to get the ball to the edge and get it to their wingbacks. They're kind of actually starting to get away from that a little bit. You're going to see a lot of similar things from the Northwest game. Kind of with teams going to these spread offenses. Sometimes it feels like, we can almost run out the same scout cards. They have a very good quarterback. He has the ability to kind of get in space and get out of the pocket. So it's going to be important for us to keep a spy on him with our linebackers. And then we got to make sure our coverages are solid downfield. And then as far as the D line is concerned, honestly, those guys just got to keep doing what they're doing, reestablish the line of scrimmage, and wreak havoc in the backfield.
Now, when it comes to the type of play style, you were mentioning that you think it might be a carbon copy. Um, what would you say would be some of the difference makers? Are you leaning more on your defense to really stifle things, much like last week, or maybe perhaps not to give anything away, like throwing in some more recalls with some running plays, or just or to change it up?
Right. Well, last year, honestly, we thought we were more of a team that we needed the defense to carry us a little bit and the offense to kind of hold serve. And the offense really, honestly, exceeded expectations last year. If you go back to even previous, Chuck 2022, 2021, obviously those were very strong offensive teams and they kind of carried us, with the defense playing well. But, really want this year's team to be more balanced. Up to this point, defense is really leading the way, and this would be a great week for the offense to gain some momentum early.
Yeah, so we put the event on our Facebook page. Also, I imagine it's going to be blasted all over Seckman's official X page and the districts and athletic department pages. Certainly want the group to show up. I thought we had a really great crowd make their way down Route M to
Mhm.
Cedar Hill for that game. I am equally as confident that we'll make the trip and travel well to Melville. So we certainly look forward to the game and, of course, updates, and we'll continue to push out content as we get closer and closer to kickoff. So that leaves us with our social channels. Again, we have a Facebook page. Please like and subscribe. That way you're in the loop on events, special kind of videos, unique content that's special to our club here that you'll see only on our Facebook page. And Coach, we put the word out there and they responded and wanted to ask you a couple of questions. And
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Ryan, the first question we have is, why don't we put our names on the jerseys? Is it even a possibility? And they appreciate everything that you're doing for the program.
Mhm. No, I mean that's a very good question. I know, a lot of these kids come from youth sports and they're wearing $100 jerseys. Sometimes they have $200 or $300 jerseys for their team, and the names are on the back and things like that. But as a football program, I have inventory, I have budget, and it's kind of one of those things where our jerseys they last 4 seasons, and then every four. Well, my jersey budget usually comes up every 4 years. So you'll see new jerseys, new uniforms every 4 years. So, for those 4 years, I got to make them last. And, a lot of times you'll see that with, smaller schools, if they've only got 7 or 8 seniors, it's a little bit more manageable and doable compared to when we're working with 25, 30 seniors dressing 75, 80 guys on a Friday night. That's a lot of work for Coach Bear.
No doubt. No doubt. And, it seems like I remember, back in high school, just like that cycle
Mhm.
of replacement and, there's other priorities that come up and,
Oh,
you've got
yeah.
a brand new trailer that we're excited about and to carry the equipment. But, again, I feel that the boys look good out on the field, quality uniforms and, they look the part. So we
Yeah, when it
appreciate.
when it comes to quality, I know I've gotten a few questions about our freshman uniforms. Uh, you know, that's kind of one of those things that we just kind of do too. You're coming in as a freshman. Those guys usually are coming in a little hot-headed, little feeling pretty good about themselves. If they're like my 15-year-old son, they all kind of sometimes they need to be humbled a little bit. And hey, this is your freshman jersey. You want to You want to move up, you want to get nicer things, and you need to work through the program. And I kind of like being a little ragtag in our freshman uniforms and then go out and getting it done. So it's worked out well for the last 5 years. So
Yeah, as my old coaches would say, it builds character,
yeah,
and makes you drive to get those work hard to get those nicer things. So
no doubt.
appreciate Ryan posting that question on our Facebook page. And one other question for you, Coach. What do you feel is the real strength of the position group this year for varsity? As a spectator, Steve feels that the running back room is just simply loaded. And we talked about that at the beginning of the podcast. But what areas are you really excited about? And where are you the cupboards are overstocked with players and talent?
Yeah. I mean, a specific, group that's strongest on the team right now, that's really hard to pinpoint. I feel, when you look at the defensive side, our D line is very solid. Linebacking core, is right there with some of the best that we've had, along with the defensive backs. And then, offensively, it's kind of the same. So I wouldn't say there's one position group really taking over the team. They're really all lending a pretty good hand to each other. But yeah, I mean, anybody with a few eyeballs can kind of see that we've got a crowded running back room, and that's a good problem to have. If you watch Seckman football from about 2020 to 2022, we kind of had a guy and kind of developed a reputation, I guess, from some on the outside that, hey, we've only got one guy when, it's kind of nice to have multiple now.
Yeah.
Legs are fresh. It's not something that we ever wanted to do. If we wanted the bodies, we wanted to get the ball to more people, and now we have the opportunity. Guys are coming in with fresh legs. It drives competition. If one guy ain't getting it done, he's not blocking. Well, he knows where he's going to be standing. Obviously Brady Ambrose, Ben Lewis, Mason Fowler, getting it done up top, and then having the opportunity to get it to Cam Benson at our wingback position. And, you got guys like Quinn Mattingly, Chance Rubel that are nipping at everybody's heels and looking for opportunities. So it's a great way for us to hold them accountable and to get what we want. And, when you have about 40, 50 carries a game and you could spread that over about 10, 12, 15 reps, and you don't have one guy taking 25, 30, that's going to be good for your football team.
Yeah, we're only a quarter way through it, so there's still a lot of football left to play, and having those fresh legs, like you were talking about, is a good thing, I would imagine, as you make your way to a playoff run.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Coach, that leaves us with your final thoughts. This podcast always goes by so quickly. All levels playing tremendous, and wanted to give you the floor and have you take us out.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic start to the season here. I put it in my email. We're 1/3 of the way done with the regular season. So really make sure that you're taking the time, come out, enjoy the games. A lot of guys are starting to really get some opportunities. I know we went through the first 2 weeks, a few people a little disappointed, things like that. And, especially on Monday nights, we're doing what we can to get guys in the game and have them grow and develop in our program. And, it's really fun to see the fruits of that on Friday night. I've had the opportunity to highlight a few people in my emails, most recently Trent Huck, second string, freshman tight end. God bless him. He wasn't much of a football player then. And then to, just continue to work and develop through our program. And we found a role for him last year, second, third string linebacker, to this year having a great offseason and making his first varsity start on Friday night. I mean, those are the stories that make us who we are right now, make Seckman football great. And, happy to have guys like that on our team.
Well, we're certainly excited. One more game on the road, and then we're home for Oakville. So that's always going to be exciting. So again, Coach, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with us today, and congratulations to you, your staff, the players, on a great season so far. And we look forward to see how the rest of the season plays out.
All right. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.